Hello. So this is Backstage number 9, and what my Backstage videos are is they just kind of, take a peek behind and look at stuff that's going on in the shop. Now this week I had to pull a bunch of stuff out from there. I was getting down some things that I needed to work on, and I saw my Wolfenstein diorama sitting back there, and it was like had a plastic bag over it, and I don't think I've had it out for, I don't know, 6 months or something like that. And I thought it'd be fun to come out and show you, what this diorama is and talk a little bit about how I built it. So first things first, this is a diorama based in World War II. It's Fantasy Diorama, and it is based primarily on the video game Castle Wolfenstein. Or Castle, so I have to explain this. One of my favorite movies of all time is Young Frankenstein. And there's this wonderful scene in it where he says, it's not Frankenstein, it's Frankenstein. Right at the beginning of the movie. Ever since then, I have always kind of gone with the Steen instead of the Stein. And so it's just kind of funny. So anyway, it's Wolfenstein. And it tries to hold true to a few things, but it also pulls from a lot of other games as well as movies and stuff that I loved. So the general idea is this is the only thing that is able to be seen above ground. It's just this secretive little paddock near an airfield. But this one, curiously, has an underground hatch and a lift that goes underground. But that's all you see from above. And of course, it's got, some camo netting and stuff like that. That's above ground. But below ground, it's a secret, military base run by Dr. Totenkopf. And Dr. Totenkopf is right back here. He's in this little area, and it's a control room. And you see there's some x-rays up on a big panel that he's looking at, a light board. And this is where he does all of his, maniacal planning. It overlooks this. This is the main medical bay of the diorama. And it has these fellers and a young lady, and they are tearing apart a mummy. They're in North Africa. And so they're tearing apart a mummy, and they're going to add body parts to it and build a super soldier. So that's what's going on down here. Now, these things have been dead for eons. And so what happens is after they build one of these super soldiers, they bring it up here. This is the blue energy room, or the blue energy ray. That in the middle is called the life chamber. And what they do is they'll bring these lifeless hulks that they've patched together like a Frankenstein, place them in here, light up this blue energy, and bring this thing to life. Now, as they bring this thing to life, it's basically a berserker. So they need to get it out of here quick because it has 72 hours of life, and then it just virtually just drops to the ground. So what they do is they'll haul these berserkers up through that hatch I showed you earlier, and they will place them in this. And because of the mummy, I thought it would be fun. I carved this little, it's just carved out of wood, but it's an aluminum sarcophagus, and it's full of weapons. And it's like padded and stuff like that. There's no food. It doesn't eat because this is a super soldier. It's just running on this mysterious blue energy. That's the only thing that it runs on. And of course, it only lasts for 72 hours. You can see there's a window in the hallway too. It's kind of cool. But anyway, they put him in that aluminum sarcophagus. These guys are fashioning and rigging some parachutes. So 2 parachutes go on that. They airdrop it over a battle. The thing hits the ground, pulls out these weapons, and just basically goes berserk for 72 hours. And that's, the goal of Dr. Totenkopf down here. Now, so that's basically the backstory. That's the backstory of what's happening in this facility. But in the Wolfenstein video game, there's always like the good guy, And he goes in, Blaskowitz is the guy, the good guy's name. And so he goes in and he, does anything like a special agent would. In this, I've basically got, the explanation of look for flash communiques from a mole hiding deep in the underground facility. The way to victory has been laid out for you, but the dangers are very real. And then there are health packs, weapons and armor packs, food upgrade packs, like the double nuke. And these are, you see these in video games all the time. So I thought it'd be really cool. I made those out of Value Gear, Steve Munsell's wonderful add-ons. The only one's really worth it, frankly, because of the guy behind it. He's just a wonderful person. So I've got those throughout. So yeah, that is the basis, and then there's the story. So you to kind of play, if you will, the diorama, what you do is you follow these little placards. And here's those little flash communique things that I said. And here it says in number 1, flash communique, Totenkopf located, North Africa, secret underground base, suspected medical experimentation. And then you are given a mission, just like in a video game, infiltrate underground base through ventilation system. So that's another one that is directly from Wolfenstein, the video game. He always comes in. Well, there's two things. Number 1, he comes in and comes out on a submarine, out in the water, and then he swims ashore. They bring him ashore, whatever. And he also infiltrates through the ventilation systems. It's just kind of this thing. You always do that in each of the different missions. So what it says here is infiltrate through the ventilation system. And so then you get in here and you read the next placard, and it says, operating room 13, flash communique, building super soldiers, piecing together body parts using mummies' cadavers. Mission, destroy medical equipment and terminate Totenkopf. So there's your marching orders. That's what you're supposed to do. So, Blaskowitz, he comes in here and he takes out all this stuff. He destroys the equipment. That's part of it. And then he gets Totenkopf, and you can kind of see Totenkopf way back in there. I'm going to see if I can zoom in without making a complete mess of this. It's not working. There we go. So there's Totenkopf back there. And I saw somebody else do that, and I thought it was just really clever how they had done just a skull on top of a regular figure. And so I did the same thing. But it is the Wolfenstein figure, Totenkopf. So then that's your first mission. And then after you're done there, you advance to the next one, and it's the life chamber, and you get a flash communique that says, mysterious energy source, blue energy ray, life chamber used to reanimate dead tissue. Mission objectives, find backpack with blue energy ray plans and destroy the life chamber. So here's, I showed you this before, but in the mission, you're supposed to come in here and destroy this. In the video game, of course, you're going to come in here and fight off these 3 guys. This guy's going to go down pretty quick. These guys probably pick up a submachine gun, so you have some good play there. But then this guy is kind of like the first boss fight, you would see. Because when I made this guy, this is a figure that I made from, I think 2 or 3 figures, frankly. And he is about 7 or 8 feet compared to these guys. He stands about that high. You can't see him because he's laying down. You can't really see the relation, but I did make him super big. So you would go in there. Here, up above here, is where that little backpack is. It says here, destroy that, find the backpack with the blue energy ray plans. And then you come around here to this side and you get another flash communique that says, flash communique, telekinetic entity, powers unknown, may be weak from experiments, approach with caution, capture prisoner 0, bring back any way possible. So this was really super fun. This figure actually is a Japanese figure from a IJA kit. I think it was either fine molds or something like that, but he's sitting in like cross-leg. And I just thought, wow, it's like a meditative pose. But what I did, if I block the light here, it's probably a little better. What I did was I made him into this floating entity, like he's like this superpower that through their experimentation and stuff like that in the secret underground lab, they either discovered or created this guy, who knows. But we want to capture that guy and bring him back. So that is part of the mission now. So after that, that's placard number 4, we go here, and this is the bio cell block. So flash communique, only escape route to surface, use extreme care, reports of unknown danger. So it says, oh no, something's in there. Clear bioengineering cells of unsuccessful bio experiments, escape to the surface, or escape to the surface. And so this is really super fun. If you come back here and you're looking at the diorama, you know, coming around it here, you've got this really improbably long hall. It looks a little bit longer than it should be. You know, how in the heck do you fit it in the diorama? And that's fun. I really love that. So I built this long hallway. It was one of the first things I did, you know, before figures or anything like that. And I also, when I started doing the detailing, I put in cover. You know, there's always in these long halls in the video game, there's always cover that you can get down behind, and then there's a med pack there. There's a samurai sword, you know. So you pick up these things, and then you go back here, and I'll try to zoom in again. Back here, there is a guard that's being overpowered, and there's one of these experiments that's getting out. That's the big boss fight. And so, yeah, so that is, you know, and again, you're supposed to go through the diorama like you would a video game. So each of these is like a different level. So you get through that, you pop up to the surface right there, and then the last placard says, flash communique, rumored modified BF-109 with external passenger capabilities. Overtake ground crew, use aluminum super soldier sarcophagus to transport prisoner 0 to sub base for extraction. See, there's that submarine that Blaskovich always comes in on. So up here, you've got, you know, 4 guys. You got these guys, and they're pretty fit, you can tell. And I got to tell you, I love painting these guys because I wanted to show that they had like sunburns and sun damage and stuff like that. So I really had a great time painting these guys. They're working on the 109, you know, and as you come to the surface, you're going to have this prisoner 0 with you. So you got to fight these 4 guys, get prisoner 0 somehow into this sarcophagus, and then fly him out of here, and then probably ditch the plane near Tobruk or off the coast and be picked up by a submarine. So that's the whole mission. That's the whole diorama. And I got to tell you, it was so fun because, you know, I'm trying to build these stories, and I'm trying to create engagement with my dioramas. And this was the first time that I put together this full story with a lot of stuff going on. And it was really neat to do it in the guise of a video game because it was easy to understand. You know, each little room is like a level. Each little place is a vignette. You know, each of these little things could actually stand as its own diorama. But I needed a way to tie them together, and to do it like a video game, it seemed a little bit easier. Now I'm trying to do, you know, other dioramas where I take it a little bit further. It's more like a movie, you know. Things do affect each other. The scenes have to meld to tell a similar story. Some scenes are kind of like, think about it like a panel in a comic, you know, same thing. This panel, you know, it builds up the energy, and then you go to this next panel, and here, you know, this results in something crazy going on, and then you go to the next panel. So what I'm trying to do ultimately is tell stories with my dioramas, and this is the one, or the first one, I should say, that really explored that fully. I mean, it really, really went down that road because I had something that I could rely on, the video game that I was very familiar with and loved playing, to kind of sketch out the different areas. And it was pretty natural then to just go in and create a story around those areas that already existed for my purposes, and then to build toward it. So it was a super, super fun diorama to do. It took 8 months. And I started just with the airplane, and then looked at that, saw what area it would take up, like on, you know, some foam, some pink foam. And then I decided, well, I want this many, underground rooms, and then I just stacked up enough foam to get there, and then I started building. So no planning, but boy, I'm sure happy with how it came out. It's really a fun diorama to look at, and for me even to go back and look at, because I haven't looked at it for, like I was saying earlier, I think 6 months or something like that. So I hope you are having a wonderful day. These backstage deals are kind of fun. It's uncut. It's just me talking to you about one of these dioramas and maybe some of the backstory, some of the reasons why I did them and stuff like that. If you have questions, please ask, because I'd love to tell you about this. Over 8 months building this and putting all this stuff together and conceptualizing it and what little Easter eggs, am I going to put in it, and what little fun things am I going to discover along the way. There was a lot of that in 8 months. And so, if anybody has any questions about that, ask. And I'd love to go further into it and discuss it, because it was a very, very enjoyable diorama to build. And I think it came out a little bit better than I thought. Certainly, better than I thought. So thanks very much. I hope you enjoyed this. I do these kind of videos basically when I don't have my long form video ready for posting. This is a fast way for me to, show you something that I've done previously, but hopefully it is a different kind of connection when you're, listening to me talking about something like this and showing you the diorama. I hope it is. I hope it's a little bit more personal. It's just a me to you thing, showing you one of my dioramas like if you were in the shop. So thanks very much. I hope you do enjoy this, and I'm going to get this thing posted so that I can get back to the bench. Well, I got to put that away first. But I want to get back to the bench and do some more building on my current project. So have a great day, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. We'll see ya.